Under the soft shimmer of the restaurant's muted lights, my eyes caught the delicate curve of her wine glass, its elegant rim marked by a faint trace of scarlet lipstick. Inside, the deep red wine swirled, catching the flicker of nearby candles like liquid fire. Her laugh cut sharply through the quiet hum of the room, a harsh, grating sound that clashed violently with the gentle murmurs around us. It wasn't a laugh that invited closeness, it was cold, almost vicious, like a knife carelessly drawn. Her friends leaned in, their gazes sharp and hungry, predatory vultures circling a fresh prize. "He's just floating," she said, voice thick with scorn, twisting my own words into a cruel parody. "Stuck between gigs, between dreams, between anything worthwhile." The table erupted in sharp, biting laughter, mocking and cruel, even from where I sat unnoticed 2 tables away. Hidden in the quiet of the early evening, my presence cloaked by their self-absorbed chatter. They had no idea I'd arrived first. No clue I owned the very venue where they savored their expensive drinks. No inkling I ran the firm that paid their salaries. Through the clear sheen of my own glass I watched her, Isabel, striking and merciless. Her face was a polished mask of confidence as she tore me apart without uttering my name. Her companions snickered, their superiority a brittle facade, unaware I was listening. Absorbing every barb, every smirk. In that instant, something inside me shifted, a subtle click like a key turning in a lock. The warmth I'd once felt for her cooled, hardening into something sharp and calculated. Isabel hadn't always been this way. Or maybe she had, and I was too blinded by her charm to see it. She was a vision, impeccable in her grace, gliding through life as if every step demanded admiration. Her smile once felt like a warm dawn, sincere enough to make me trust it. We met years ago, before my empire had taken root, before I hid behind a web of subsidiaries and discreet alliances. Back then, I was just a man with raw drive, and she claimed to cherish that. "You ground me," she whispered once, voice soft as she leaned close. "You're my foundation." I believed it was love. Now, I wonder if she meant I was beneath her, a mere foothold on her climb. For 2 years, I let her shape her own version of me. She saw a man with a modest, unremarkable life, a simple flat, an old car, a job she assumed unstable. I told her I was a freelancer, a vague label she never questioned. She never stepped foot in my workspace, a plain office in the city's industrial quarter she thought belonged to some struggling startup. Her curiosity ended where the glitter began. At first, I didn't mind. I cared for her, or at least for the idea of her I'd created. I was content to let her see me as average while I quietly built something monumental behind the scenes. The first crack appeared subtly, just a casual comment as she sifted through clothes she'd paid others to clean. "You could push harder, you know," she said lightly, laced with critique. "Drive is captivating." I stayed silent, but I began to watch her more closely. Those words lingered, a signal I couldn't ignore. Then, 3 weeks before that night at the restaurant, everything shifted with a single phone call. She believed I was abroad in Singapore on a business trip, but my assistant Claire accidentally picked up a call meant for me, and put it on speaker. Isabel's voice filled the room, playful, cunning. "Is the boss really as rich as the rumors say?" she teased. I saw Claire's name in his messages. "Don't tell him I was prying," she laughed, unaware I was standing right there listening. Claire's expression mirrored my growing clarity. I gave a slight nod. From that moment on, Isabel became a problem to unravel, a variable to control. By the next morning I had her phone mirrored, her laptop next. Her passwords were embarrassingly simple, reused everywhere, as if facial recognition alone could guard her secrets. I became an invisible watcher, tracking her texts, her emails, her late-night browsing. There were other men, of course. One was a junior staffer on my advertising team, a cocky young man she enjoyed guiding, playing the role of the influential, generous partner. What she didn't know was he was already flagged for mishandling client files. I had the full report. But her betrayal cut deeper than cheating. She wasn't just playing me, she was plotting to carve out her own empire by raiding mine. She'd been secretly contacting my investors, dropping my name casually while pitching her own projects, charming men I'd spent years building trust with. That's when I realized this wasn't about a broken heart. It was about control. My response unfolded in 3 deliberate stages. First, separation. I withdrew, letting her believe I was distracted, perhaps indifferent. My distance gave her space to grow careless, to seek affirmation from her inner circle, the same friends who mocked me at the restaurant. Their group chats buzzed with derision, their dinners a stage for her to sharpen her sarcasm at my expense. Meanwhile, I moved in the shadows using untraceable methods. I sent HR departments at their companies undeniable proof of violations, padded timesheets, inflated expenses, reckless emails bragging about cutting corners. The evidence was ironclad, drawn straight from their own devices, their own words. Within a week, 3 of her closest allies were unemployed, their reputations shattered. Isabel took to social media, railing against unfair systems, spinning tales of targeted campaigns. I watched detached as her posts faded into obscurity,